you've seen your role expand and increase, it seems like, recently. I mean, just what's that been like for you as a guy who, coming in this year, weren't even on scholarship, and now you're playing a lot, catching balls?
It was, you know, it's been a transition. I've always felt like I was prepared. The coaches here, the strength staff here have always treated me like everyone else, and my role kind of just came with the progressions that I've had and like advancements that I've had throughout this year and throughout camp and throughout my whole career here. So I've been prepared for it. I've been waiting for it, and I was ready for it. And when the opportunity came, I guess I just took advantage.
Was there like a thought in your head before this season, like, oh, I could play tight end, or was that just something that kind of came up?
Coming into this season, I always joked with Coach Salem. I was like, I'm going to be playing tight end for you pretty soon here, and he'd always be like, get out of my face, and he just told me to get away. And I was joking with him at the time, but there was always a little hint of seriousness there because I played tight end in high school, and I felt pretty confident that I could do it here if my number was called and if they needed me. And you know, when our numbers got switched around and we needed some backing at tight end, I just stepped up and said I can do it. And then they moved me there, worked there all summer, and it's been going well so far.
Jim, what's the key to blocking speed?
There's tons of things you could do, but the thing that I found is like the easiest way to block a speed guy is just know your assignment, know your role, and just get in front of him, because the advantage of offense is that you know the play before they do. So you just got to be able to use your mind and use your technique to beat them if they're fast guys.
With the reps you've gotten at tight end and knowing that George is graduating after this year, I mean, do you see that this is sort of a permanent role as a tight end, fullback? You know, that you think this is where you're going to stay the rest of the way?
I'll do whatever this team needs me to do, whether it be on special teams, defense, offense, fullback, tight end. I just kind of been my mentality. You know, right now I'm just focused on my role for Miami and my role coming up in these upcoming games, and whatever they need me to do, I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability.
Is there a sense among players that, you know, not only is Miami a good team, but kind of want some payback for the way you guys spoiled things for them last year?
I don't know what they want. I just know that we treat every game the same. You know, this is same old stuff for us. This is a new week, new game. We're focused on trying to get this win, and you know, they can treat it however they want. But for us, it's a game that we got to win because it's on our schedule.
Your teammates and coaches have talked a lot about like the selflessness on this team in terms of guys not really caring who gets the glory. I mean, did you guys not have that last year? I mean, how much has that been a key to improving from 5-7 to now, whatever you might end up?
I think we've had that every year. I think when we've struggled and we've had obstacles in our way in the past, we've just overcome them, and whether, you know, that be what they are, we've always found a way to overcome it. So I don't think that in the past we've had issues with selfish players or anything. I think that just you see it especially this year because you got Quadri and Darren doing their thing. I mean, you know, they're unbelievable. Watching those guys lead the team really helps that unselfish mentality bleed throughout everyone in every position.
Yeah, but don't you have a tendency or tempted to go to Salem and say, hey, can you adjust the game plan a little bit, throw more to the tight end?
Well, no, I don't feel that way at all. I just, like I said, and I've said this repeatedly throughout my career, I'll do anything that this team asks me to do, and I think that's the same way in my room. Like, you know, there's times where Will's taking majority of the reps, there's times where Grant's taking majority of the reps, there's times where Carson's taking majority of the reps, and we're just happy for each other, and we just want to see wins at the end of the day. We don't really care about playing times or statistics or anything like that.
You and Carson, you know, it's like a linebacker and a tackle, both playing tight end. What's it been like, kind of just having somebody so soon after you made that transition to come in behind you and try to pick up the same things that you had to?
Well, it's funny because Carson and I played DN together, or not DN, defensive line together last year. So we've been bouncing around rooms together for a while now. And when he came into the room, when we needed some numbers, I just said to him, I was like, listen, they're going to ask you to do 10,000 things. Just focus on the little stuff, and you'll be good. And you know, he's obviously picked it up pretty well, and he's been doing great at the position. He's a really, really solid blocker on the edge. So I'm happy that he's doing well.
Obviously, Miami's next up, but is it difficult at all as a player, just sort of that natural instinct to know that that ACC championship game is looming and a matchup with Clemson is looming and everything like that?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest obstacles that you can face as a team is when you know you have big things coming, to focus on what's immediately in front of you. And we know Miami's a tough opponent. You know, we know they're fast, their defense is outstanding, and we just want to be able to be as prepared as possible. And that is challenging when you know the ACC championship's coming, something we've worked for and looked forward to since I got here as a freshman. But I think that our team is very good at focusing in on the task at hand, and the next week we have a next man up kind of mentality when it comes to these things, and that's been our attitude all year, even when we were down. So it's challenging for sure, but I think this team's more than capable of handling it.
I think anybody who's even been to practice once has a good sense of Coach Salem as a motivator. What's he like as a teacher of the position?
Coach Salem, first and foremost, cares about us. He'd do anything for us. He's one of the best coaches and best men I've ever played for. And in terms of a teacher, he knows every single assignment on the field. He knows what our assignment should be. He knows. He always tells us. He says if you got 10 assignments and the defense has 10 different ways they could play those assignments, and you need to know 100 things. And I'm very confident he knows all 100 of those things, and he does the best that he can to make sure we know them as well. So yeah, he's great.
Anything else for Jim?